welcome
Ooh.
to a slightly smaller edition of the semi-glittery bones of advertising. We are missing one young lady who is busier than a blue-ass fly at the moment, so she won't be joining us, Gabaloo. We bid you adieu, farewell, and hope that you're okay. But welcome, you two. Lovely to have you on board.
Very much.
Good
Glad
to
to
be
be
back,
here.
guys. I've missed your faces.
We did have a week off last week when we were
Did,
celebrating the life of the legendary Queen and the beginning of the reign of our new king.
Yeah. Joel
Yes.
Selwood.
Joel
Yeah.
Selwood, yeah.
Footy.
Or is it Paddy
Thank God
Dangerfield
footy's
now that-
over.
Now that Jolie's retired? Is it Paddy D? Who knows? Who's going to be the next captain of the Cats?
I don't know. They've got a history of going young.
So you reckon? Yeah, okay. So really young, interesting.
Well, it could be that that young backman they've got, Dick Koenig or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
did all right, I reckon. So yeah, there could be. Who knows? Who knows? It's not a team I particularly am drawn towards, so I don't mind. Let them pick who they like.
Okay. Well, to that end, if you're not drawn to something, you got something to say over there.
Yeah, if you
I know,
got
just saying-
something to say over there. What was that back in your
Footy.
box?
I'm just glad it's over. But I'm very intrigued about the fallout of what's going to happen with this Hawthorn. These claims coming from Hawthorn. There was they leaked a little bit of the there was some documents that came out yesterday, so it's going to be an interesting watch and see.
I think it was very, very. I understand that the claims they made are contentious and explosive, and if they are correct, they are reprehensible. But that's a very big if, because it's been a flawed process so far. Like there's no due diligence been done by the people who wrote the report, from what I can understand at all. Like it just sounds like he said this, so therefore it must.
Doesn't it?
Okay,
And then
nothing's been quantified or cross-referenced or fact-checked. Is that what you're saying, JD? They're just basically verbatim saying what one party said relative to their.
And I'm not saying that that people are lying. What I'm saying is there has been absolutely no due process, and there's just been this kangaroo court. I don't think that's fair. I think if it went the other way, there would be screams of racism and victimization and like.
Well, I think there are screams of racism and victimization anyway, Bud. So I think that whichever side of the coin that you're looking at as far as what's gone on, what I think is really interesting is that this is obviously the second club now post Collingwood's saga with the racial vilification of a number of players, and then the subsequent fallout of all of that. I mean, in my opinion, okay, it's got to be done properly, but I think it's really important that it's done. That's the real important thing. But anyway, we digress, and I think that's probably a topic for another day.
It probably gives you the shits that we've just just digressed like down another fucking rabbit hole.
That doesn't give me the shits. I quite like the rabbit holes, but what I'm going to tell you about is an ad that shits me so much, and it's funny, because I bought something from this particular brand once, but I'll never go back. But this ad shits me so much, and I don't know whether it shits me so much because it has someone in it that I just can't stand, and I don't reckon I'm the Lone Ranger there. But let's take a quick peek before we come back and pull it apart.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, Carl! Can we get a selfie?
You're in experienced hands with your local Specsavers optometrist. Book an eye test with a free 3D eye scan today. Should have gone to Specsavers.
Look, I've just got to say, it fucking shits me even just to watch it again, like to actually see that thing come up again. Fuck, just get it off.
Yeah. I'm so disinterested in this ad. Like, it shits me because it's a waste of money.
Yeah.
To my mind, it does not say Specsavers. It doesn't say you save money on your specs. Like, it doesn't do anything to build the brand. It says, if you need glasses, go to a glasses shop. Like, what? That's it. I have nothing for this.
I reckon their brand, that whole positioning though, is pretty sticky with them. Like should have gone to Specsavers, I think is a strong brand
Absolutely.
campaign. And I think some of their executions are done really well, and they're quite kind of funny and sometimes a bit cheeky, but I'm the same. I'm just like, even her voice, and she's like, Cal, get a selfie.
Oh,
And then the lady like,
I fucking hate it.
PTSD. And then even more so for me, it's like the idea that the woman that works at the shop like comes up to her and like hugs her and like, come in. Like it's just, I don't know, it makes me itchy, but maybe that's a good thing. I'm not sure.
No,
but
that sounds
I'm
to
with
me
you
like
guys. It should.
that sounds to me like death by committee. Like that, the whole kind of, we should put some of our staff members in there.
Yeah. Let's humanize it a bit.
I love it.
I think like the concept of it, like without, they don't even say, like I say Carl, but they don't say who it is. So like finding someone that looks like him, like I think it's got all the kind of the tick boxes of it being good, but I think it's just, for me, I think it's the female lead that loses me. I think it's her voice and her actions and taking the selfie and all of that. So I'm just like, oh, fuck off. I don't want to see this.
For me, even the billboard of Carl and Ellie that goes past in the backboard, the actual billboard of Carl and Ellie that go past as you know, she runs up to this poor unsuspecting fella and says, you know, like that, just kills me. But coming back to the point of the ad, like Specsavers is all about cheap glasses, right? Like it's all about super cheap glasses. That's their go-to. Should have gone to Specsavers because it was, you know, whatever. But for me, it just totally misses the mark, and it just grates on me. And I can't cop it. I actually, when it comes on, I have to mute it on the TV. Like it's on air at the moment, and if I'm watching the Today Show in the morning with Carl, who I also can't fucking stand, but if it comes on, I have to mute it. I can't do it. And it's very few things these days that shit me that much, but this one, it does.
Yeah, I reckon it's the danger of developing a templated approach, and then you've got people with egos who are in charge of approving the execution. Like the whole should have gone to Specsavers. That whole, it's like you know, there are some things that money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard. Like that whole MasterCard campaign was brilliant and templated. The Absolute Vodka campaign was templated and brilliant.
Yeah.
The Specsavers campaign has the potential to be, every ad should be build on what's gone before, rather than just have some egomaniac go, I wrote this ad, so therefore we're going to bloody make it. Like it
smells of that. It really does smell of someone just going, I've written this and this is how it's happening.
100%. Because if you think about the original ones that were out years ago, they were so cheaply done.
Yeah.
That they were so shitty that they were awesome. Like there was the guy that like drops his glasses onto the train line, and then the dog like that's chewing. Those. Like it was just it was almost like a I don't know if you guys remember Medinic laser eye ads as well. Like they were so poorly done. Like could have been on I don't even know, like not an iPhone, like a Nokia. Like it was so kind of shitly put together. But that's what gave it its personality. And I think like you're both saying, the trying to polish it and make it like relevant and have like, you know, a brand, media personality included, I think has just confused it and made it, I don't know, just made it a bit ick.
In an effort to build a bridge with Specsavers and look for positives, look for a silver lining, I reckon they should go back to exactly what you're saying, Caro. I reckon they should go back to people lose their glasses all the time.
Yeah.
But if you go to Specsavers, it's going to cost you less to replace them.
And they'll get good two, baby. You might even get two, like two pairs.
Yeah.
Part that I love about them.
Like, why do an ad that is just like, do you need glasses? Like that makes nothing. Like, do you need glasses? And are they going to be cheap?
Exactly. Because your glasses are going to get destroyed. So just buy some cheap ones to replace them because they're going to get destroyed again. Like that's the kind of circular economy of their brand.
The other part of that initial ad, Caro, just coming back to me now, like there's a guy in the surf and he's getting washed off. Like who hasn't had that happen to their sunglasses? Like I love that was just,
it's all just kind of like
kind of half disheveled and he knocks them off himself. I'm like, that's the shit. That was so good.
That is. That is
So good.
glorious.
But anyway,
Glorious.
while we're on the topic of
Right.
things that shit me, can we
Oh.
just have a quick chat about what the fuck did Optus do? How the hell did this happen? And how many people are now got their bums out in the breeze looking for who knows what to help them? And God help us if these idiots that have got the data have actually released it, because by the time we get all of this shit going that's supposed to help people that are in this predicament, everything that you want not out there is gone. It's out.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
in there. Fucking gone.
I was reading an article just before on this in terms of the hacker and how he requested or, wanted the ransom for $1 million, 100 million,
US
Yeah.
originally.
Million
Yep.
$1 million. Like it's
Yeah.
nothing.
Cryptocurrency.
It's like, it's just like, like
You know what that
pocket change
reminded
for
me of?
Optus.
Dr. Evil. And his son's going, fucking $1 million. Like, that's fucking nothing. He should
Yeah, $1
A
billion.
billion, a trillion. Exactly. Like, you fucking idiots.
But so they didn't pay the money. So they released, I think the hackers released like 10,000 records. And now they're saying like that the hacker came out with remorse and said, I've deleted all of them. I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
Bullshit.
Like that is absolute bullshit. And there's like a theory that, they're going to say that, so then people will become laxed and they won't go and update their things. And then they'll be even more prone to being hacked,
Open to
or,
attack.
has Optus done something that they haven't told us? Have they paid the money forward without, making it public to kind of hush it down? Like, it's just a fucking mess.
So here's
Absolute-
what I want to happen is I want the laws to change in Australia, and I want them to be retrospective to cover what they've done. So I want them to get a penalty for whatever it is. And in the States, if this was happening, I don't know what, maybe the FBI lady was saying, or one of the ladies from the FBI came on and was talking about if this happened in the States, blah, blah, blah. But the point of it is, when you have someone's personal data as a telco, how can it not be encrypted in a way that even if it is hacked, the data is useless? So you have 25% of 25% of the information stored on one drive, 25% of the data stored on another drive. And then they can't access both of those drives through the same avenue. So therefore the data that they get is completely useless. So I don't understand how this could.
It's bizarre.
I
Like even
that.
us as an agency store our files separately in case something happens. Do you know what I mean? We're like, we're
like
an
the
ad
fact that
agency.
where Optus came out right at the start and they said, this is a sophisticated cyber attack
by a schoolgirl or a schoolboy.
But it's like they made it out to be like some kind of like the Russian mafia has got together and
Or China's got into their account.
Yeah. It's not. It's somebody. I don't know who it is. I know man, woman, who knows?
It.
Like
It's an it.
Someone
Them
sitting alone in a bloody. The only reason I'm saying that is because I don't want them to then hack me. But I don't. I just like someone alone in a room at 2 o'clock's gone. I'm in.
And then upstairs, what you can hear is,
Go to sleep, Gary. Go to sleep.
because he's fucking in the dungeon basement while Mama's upstairs trying to sleep.
Yeah. Bring me some meatloaf.
Scenario. That's the scenario that's painted for me. But what's going to happen, right? So say the information is going to be served to Vic Roads or to the Passport Authority, and then we'll all get new passports or we'll get new driver's license numbers. So the information they've got, which will then end up being just names, email addresses, and date of birth, they can't do anything with. So I've spoken to my banks. I have 2 banks, spoken to both of them, and they're saying it takes a shitload more than this and that to open an account in your name and, to do all of those sorts of things. So what they've actually done is going to put the people that have been affected into a really strong position, because if you can have that, because you can't have that information changed, like you can't just go into a passport office and say, I want my new passport if there's nothing wrong with your old passport, unless you're prepared to pay. So you can pay to have a new passport, but with a driver's license, you actually have to prove. So outside of this situation, so early in the days, I went to the Vic Roads website and it said you actually have to have a court order to have the driver's license details changed. So to get a court order, you obviously have to have some kind of either pending case or a police report where you've been able to take it in front of a judge to get an order. And again, I'm not exactly sure on all of that. I'm just kind of going on what I think might
because
happen.
the passport and the driver's license are worth 100 points of identification.
Yep, exactly.
So I can't go along and say I'm Craig McLeod. I've changed my name to Craig McLeod.
Yeah,
here's
but
my
even
address.
so, like I'm contemplating changing my email address. So if I change it, I've had the same email address for 18 years. If I change my email address now, which I'll probably do, everyone who I've had previously spamming me, they're all gone. Like it basically wipes the slate clean. And I won't have it like, I'll have it, for a week or two where it forwards to the new one. But once it's done and it's gone and it's deleted, all of those, because I get shit tons of spam having such an old email address, they're all gone. So it really puts you in a position where it's almost going to put you where you have to paint things off, and it's forcing you to do things you might normally not have done to really to help protect yourself. But I am floored in this day and age that could happen to this extent. It just blew my socks.
To such a big organisation.
And to such a big organisation. Singtel in overseas, they're fucking enormous. Like, this is not a tiny company. They are enormous.
I think I feel sorry for, like, I think what you're saying, Craig, about the silver lining of having a fresh start and like decluttering is awesome. I feel sorry for the people like my mum and dad who are old, who don't understand, who already get hit with heaps of spam things and open them up and think, oh, Optus is trying to contact me. Like, those people are still going to get,
more so.
They're going to get stuffed over, definitely. I feel they have trust in corporations, whereas I think the younger generation doesn't as much. So if Optus calls and says you've been hacked, and like, even I was asking you this morning, Craig, how did you find out? And you said I got an email, and like my first instance is, if you get an email from Optus, it's probably a hack. So it's kind of this, who can you trust? Like, they say they're Optus. Are they Optus? Like, I think there will be, people of maybe limited language or intellectual capability, or the older generation that, are going to probably feel the repercussions of this for a long time.
I went on to try and contact Optus, obviously, to understand the extent of the exposure that I had, and to understand whether they did or didn't have my information, and they wouldn't tell me. So I felt that was extraordinary breach of privacy. Even further, once I got hold of someone, they'd validated my identity in the account that I previously held, so the account was closed. But once they'd done that, they wouldn't say to me clearly, yes, your license has been exposed, and yes, your Medicare card, although expired, has also been exposed. And what I was saying to them then, how do I mitigate the risk if I don't know what's happened? What I have to do is presume that everything that you had of mine is now exposed. And so that I was saying, we're unable to tell you at this stage. In the next few days, you'll receive an email. If you're one of those that are the greatest exposed, and we'll supply you with a 12-month subscription to Xperia or Experian or whatever it's called, the credit monitoring service. I'm like, you guys better be really ready for this, because I guarantee you there'll be a class action. And I reckon it's going to be that big that it could close Optus, not Singtel, but close Optus in Australia. It would be that big. You've already got companies like Slater and Gordon, and I can't remember the name of the other guys that constantly look for this kind of thing, and that, really advocates for the consumer. But if that doesn't happen, where each consumer gets a certain settlement from being exposed, particularly the ones that have their passport, their driver's license and Medicare, like the other ones, I think maybe a slightly lower level, but again, it's still, it's reprehensible. It's going to be extraordinary to see what happens. And I think it could be really big, massive for them. I mean, if I was a customer of Optus now, I'd be going, I'm fucking out, mate. I'm out. And
I think it's how bizarre that you can contact them and you can verify your identity, but they won't tell you what information they have of yours, yet they'll leave the back door open and let someone come in and just steal all your information.
They told me that the identities that they had of mine, they said that they had my license and my Medicare card, but what they didn't say was whether those ones were breached, because what they're saying is that a certain subset of clients have had their passport, license and Medicare card. So obviously you've given them either a passport or a license, because they're the two highest IDs, and then your Medicare card would be the other one, or some would have given both, I presume. But anyway, let's not give that any more airtime other than to say, fuck you, Optus, and we're coming for you.
Optus.
Hey, I've got a present for you.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole thing of it is just extraordinary. And I really feel like the FBI, the lady from the FBI, who was brilliant, by the way, said this is just reprehensible for this to be able to happen in this day and age, particularly from a telco of their size. Anyway, Caro, I'm looking for some.
It's just going to happen. I was just going to say, it's just going to keep happening, because we're we're moving to just a digital world.
Mm.
Like, it wouldn't be surprising if the new driver's license are digital. They're in your
Well,
wallet. You don't
They're
have.
already digital in New South Wales, Queensland, and WA,
Yeah.
I believe.
So that will
New
become
South Wales.
digital. Passports will become digital. You know, you'll have no tangible assets to prove you were you. So how does that sit in terms of hacking?
I think we need to go back
anyway.
to scratching stuff into bark and then
I
carrying
think so
around bits of
too.
trees, you know.
I like the days where you used to have to sign for your credit card.
Yeah.
JD, I'm all for you today. I think that is just bloody brilliant. If we don't have you bloody using your one tooth like Cletus, scratching your name into bark, then we can't help you.
Yeah. If he can't, a man who can't chew his name into a piece of bark is not worth dealing with.
He's definitely not worthy of a loan. You can't give him a loan.
All right. Sorry.
I'm not keeping you up, are we, Caro?
Oh, I know. That was really rude. Sorry, I'm dehydrated. I've had too many coffees and not enough water.
Please carry on.
So for harmonics this week, we are not doing harmonics because we never really do. I thought we never really stick to harmonics. Like,
True.
it's kind of like, what's this jersey?
Yeah.
Da 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 da. So I thought we could just close off the episode with a few little riddles, because everyone loves a dad
Before you
joke.
start your
And
riddle-
as you're both dads, you could both do some riddles.
Could we start this with you telling me what a Guernsey is? Is that like a Guernsey?
Guernsey, Jersey. Did I say Jersey?
Guernsey, yeah.
It's a Jersey Guernsey. It's
A Guernsey
it's
or
a
a
Guernsey that's a Jersey.
You're a
It's a
Guernsey.
thing.
Mm.
It's
Okay, Guernsey, pull it
comparable.
up.
Okay. What month of the year has 28 days?
All of them.
Yes,
Oh!
JD.
All of them have 28.
Good on you. I'm tall when I'm young and I'm short when I'm old. What am I?
Tall when I'm young. I'm short when I'm old.
Go ahead, give us a hint.
Like a story?
You-
Short story?
You can have it on a table. You could.
Vase, a
You probably
flower,
have one in your house.
poplar.
Sometimes they smell.
Flower.
Oh, candle.
Candle. Yes, JD.
Candle,
Okay.
well done. Thank you for the tip. Thank you for taking me all the way to the end of the path there.
I almost had one here. Here it is.
What's this?
What is full of holes but still holds water?
Sponge.
Ah, JD, you're on fire, mate.
Sponge.
What goes up but never comes down?
The price of petrol.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is the exercise finished?
What goes up but never
Yep,
comes
today.
down?
But fuck, I need to fill my car up.
Give us a hint.
What goes up but never comes down? Never comes down. What goes up? There's lots of things go up.
But it never comes down. Hint, it's kind of on point. It's a personal data.
An inflection at the end of an Australian sentence. What was that? No, I've got no idea. Pass. Sorry.
One more.
Your
hint.
age.
Oh,
Yeah, see, I'm just trying to ignore
One
that.
more.
That's
One
a
more.
sore spot there,
What
carrying
gets-
a bloody young thing with your bloody functioning lungs and your supple skin. You bloody just keep age out of this, please.
he doesn't
What?
smoke for Australia.
Yeah.
What gets wet while drying?
Oh, towel.
JD.
What was it?
Sorry. A
Christmas
towel.
crackers. Christmas crackers are us.
Oh,
What did you say, Poddle?
a tea towel.
Yeah, tea towel.
Oh yeah, well, both.
Okay, you have to go back to the tape to see if I beat him on that, because otherwise you're just going to clean sweep it.
All right, last one.
Nice one.
I shave every day, but my beard stays the same. What am I?
I'm a barber.
Yes, you are, JD.
Fuck off. Oh,
Did you like quickly Google these? Because
No.
that is outstanding.
I love a dad
Okay,
joke.
one more. I want to see if you can take a clean sweep. I
I'm
have
getting hurt here.
branches. I have branches, but no fruit, trunk, or leaves. What am I?
Bank.
Yes, Pottle! Yes, mate!
Oh.
Yes. You did it!
I almost hate the
So
bank as
proud of
much
you.
as I hate Optus.
Ah, they were good. I enjoyed the riddles.
So did I. They were very good. JD, you're extraordinary at them.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I did say prior to going on air, JD, it's over to you.
Yeah.
It's in the bag.
Just put my dad hat on and away we go.
So
Don't
good.
go changing. It's been another edition of
Thank you very much.
glittery,
Lovely to be
sort
here.
of glittery bones of advertising. We'll see you all next week. All the very best. No more now.